Welcome back to Investing in Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. An Online Trading Academy, the sponsor of the show, teaching people just like you for over 25 years how to trade and invest. How to trade and invest with stocks, options, futures, Forex, whether you're looking for income strategies or a retirement strategy, 401k and IRA. And we have investing classes that we've been having a lot of people coming into here locally. So it's a hands-on physical place to go to learn about the financial markets and see what these income strategies are, how to trade like the institutions. You can text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210. And that's for 2 seats for one of these classes. Also, make sure to check out the podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, Investing in Trading Live. So, Al, in that last segment, we were talking about some different stocks. We went through, was it LHX, some tech company. And I'm glad we picked that one because it was a company that we have never heard about. And it doesn't matter what you're trading. You don't need to know anything about it. And that's the great thing about, or the beauty of the strategy that Online Trading Academy has, the core strategy, which is designed to base your decisions off facts, add odds and probabilities in your favor. You're not going to be right every time, which you don't need to be because you have the proper capital management within that. That way you have small losses and much larger wins. In this particular segment here, I want to go through, and I just want to look at Amazon real quick. We have an Amazon OTA pick, which is an opportunity for our students. And I believe this is a pending opportunity, so we might be able to analyze this in the coming weeks here. But it's a shorting opportunity, and you defined that last time. And one of the great beauties about the core strategy here at Online Trading Academy is you place your decisions and your investments, whether you're going long or short, before price even gets there. Explain why that's so beneficial to be able to do your analysis, place your trade or investment, and then let it work for you. Explain why that's so important.
Well, probably the primary reason is because it takes the emotion as much as possible out of your trading and investing. And your emotions, you as an emotional person will be your biggest enemy as far as you're being successful as a trader or investor. So if you can preset a trade using a strategy that you have confidence in, and that's where the beginning part of our education is helping to build that confidence by, as we mentioned earlier, repeating, repetition of things that work. When you see that and you realize that the process gives you consistency in your wins, more, as Josh mentioned, you have more wins and losses, but more important than that, you identify a proper target, because there will be some trades that don't have enough of a profit for you to deal with. So just don't do that when you go on to something else.
Let me interrupt you for a second there. And the great thing, when you have proper capital management, you don't need to have more wins than losses.
No, you don't. You can be wrong 75% of the time and break even if you have the right risk to reward ratio, if you understand how that works. And that's what we teach our students. When you start out, look at a minimum of a 3-to-1. That's going to increase, and that doesn't mean that every trade you do will just have a 3-to-1. There will be some that will exceed that significantly. It may be some that you only get a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1.
Yep.
But by presetting the trade and using a strategy that gives you the opportunity to identify where the institutions are going to be active, that puts the odds in your favor that it's going to work in your favor. You don't have to be sitting there watching your computer. In fact, if you do, you're probably not going to do well. So if you're using the strategy that you have that has shown you how to identify the proper entry price, which is the most important thing, then you can set that. If you're wrong, you're going to get out with a small loss because you have your risk management strategy in place. And if you're right, you're going to get out with a full profit potential, or maybe you have a couple of targets, and there's a couple of different areas to get targets there, or profits there. But now you preset it, and you can go out and have some fun, enjoy your life, enjoy the time that you have, which is your greatest, your most valuable asset, and just let the software, the trading software, do the work for you.
Yep. In this particular invest or trade that we're talking about with Amazon, it has roughly about a 40-cent risk on it, with a over a $2 reward, which is, I think, well over a 3-to-1.
Oh, absolutely.
So
that's significantly more.
So that's why you want to keep your risk small, protected, and then have your target much higher than what that risk is. And that we really were able to show examples about that in these investing classes. Matter of fact, you teach a lot of these classes here during the week. We also have on the weekends. I teach these a lot on the weekends. And really, these are classes where we've taught thousands, just like you, are different strategies which are designed to teach you to make better investing decisions. So you can text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for this class. When you come into this class, of course, we got important stuff first. We will have nice coffee for you. Obviously, you got to keep you warm in this beautiful weather we've been having. But 2 hours, we're able to show you how these work and bring the questions that you have in with you. If you're looking at, say, you have a retirement account and you have some questions on what are some of the things you have access to, bring those questions with you, and we kind of see what might be your best opportunity there. But yeah, that's just having these opportunities. These OTA picks are so phenomenal because you're able to see it, make your own decision with that, and then put small risk, high reward, and then
Yeah.
make your decision. And that's a great thing. What Al is talking about is you let the software do it for you. That takes the emotions out of your trades and investments. And Al, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you mentioned the word what you have access to when you're talking about your retirement accounts, and an important concept because what we find is most of the people that come into these classes, number one, they don't know what's in their 401ks. They don't remember what they put their money into, and they might not even know what the differences are in the choices that they have.
Think about that for a second. People have, well, I don't know, I forget what the average is, but some people have tens of thousands, some people have hundreds of thousands, some people have millions of dollars in these accounts, and they don't know what's in there or
Right.
where it's at even and how to access it. That's your hard-earned money.
Yeah, and think
It's-
about it. When you retire, what do you have to rely on? You can rely on Social Security. You can rely on. Do you have a pension? Probably not. Most people now don't have a pension.
Mhm.
The only thing you actually have control over, which you're going to rely on the most, is your retirement savings. Maybe that comes from a 401k or 403b. But if you don't know what's in those accounts and you're not managing it properly, you may be missing out on a huge amount of money that you could have in retirement.
Yeah.
One of the things that really impacts 401ks, 403bs are the fees that you pay. Maybe there are some things within your retirement accounts that have lower fees. What happens if there's a bear market? Because when you work 30 or 40 or 50, maybe now even 60 years before you go into retirement, you cannot let a bear market, which is a market downturn of 20% or more, you can't let that happen to your portfolio and still maintain the lifestyle that you want. And we know that this is happening because there's been a record number of Americans pulling money out of their 401k plans to cover emergencies. We're seeing that Vanguard is saying that they saw a jump of 1/3 in the number of people that are taking money out. Same thing, Fidelity saw a huge impact on their 401k balances with almost 800,000 people taking money out. Even in the government's thrift savings plans, they saw 3.2% of the constituents taking hardship distributions. And you know what? One thing we talk about 2022 and the impact on 401ks, the average 401k was down 25%.
Yeah.
What we forget to mention is that in 2021, when the S&P 500 was up 20%, 57% of 401k holders lost 10% or more. So there's
Amazing.
2 years now back to back where people have lost money in their retirement accounts, and they're turning now to credit cards. There's been a
Credit card debt is huge.
increase in credit card debt. I mean, the credit card debt that the public is experiencing right now is $986 billion, almost $1 trillion in debt. So what can you do? Well, number one, we'll show you how to protect the assets that you have, and number two, we'll show you how to use your retirement savings in a way that can increase the returns that you get, allow you to benefit in up, down, and sideways markets. You have the ability to do these things if you set up a retirement account properly. And we go through these, and in these classes we teach, we cover that. We cover that because this is probably one of the most important things for you as you get into your retirement or if you're in retirement.
Yeah, this is a big time right now, Al, with the way the markets are, some of the opportunities that are showing, but there's a lot of people that are a little worried about their retirement years, and you can't afford to just sit there and do nothing and head the head in the sand and hope. If you haven't looked at your statements, look at them. See what's happening there. Are you happy with all the red in there? I'm sure most people say, well, probably not. Well, then hopefully we can inspire people to act upon that. Do something with that. Make those decisions now, because when you get into retirement time, it's going to be too late. If you have retirement accounts right now and you need to have an income strategy, you can still use that capital. There's opportunities that you have if you direct it yourself. And that's what we really show you. What are the opportunities that you do have with your retirement accounts? We have these classes locally. It's a hands-on class. We're a physical place. We have state-of-the-art facility here, right here in Bloomington, and we've had thousands of people that have came through the doors here, and just a lot of them are looking for hope on their financial future. But if you don't do nothing, nothing will change. I'm going to invite you to this class. It's 2 hours. You can text the word investing to the number 210 210, and this is for 2 seats. Most people bring their spouse or significant other. 2 seats for this class and a quick start kit, which has some of these OTA picks that we're talking about. Text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for a free investing class. Al, coming up next, we got a lot more to discuss. I want to do some more analysis on some stocks, but also I want to kind of inspire people on making those decisions and making a better future for yourself. We'll be right back.